welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 222 is brought to you by Heart Abduction and Odd Bunny, some of our esteemed Patreon patrons. This episode is also possible thanks to our producers, For the Whim, Tiger Yudi, Tab, Mikey Toe, and lazy villager Megan Leslie. This week, Nina, Sergio, and I will be talking briefly about the Nintendo Direct and then telling stories about our Animal Crossing times as of late. So to begin, hello Nina, how are you doing?
I'm doing so much better than last week.
Yay!
Just wanted to thank all the listeners for, hanging in there with my horrible voice. So,
you
back
had
to
it
normal.
rough. You had it rough, but
rough.
you powered through.
Yeah.
It was amazing. You did great. We love having you here.
Thank you.
And then hello Sergio, how are you doing?
Hi Chuy, I'm doing well. It's been good. I've been playing some Animal Crossing. That's about it. Well, other than the usual Rocket League early mornings, but Rocket League, Animal Crossing, that's basically it for me in terms of gaming, but I don't need much else. I love those two games.
Awesome. Yep. I mean, what else could you possibly need, Sergio? You got it all. You got it all in your life. It's all going great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we are kind of, I guess maybe we'll have more to say about this, but our icebreaker for today is just like, anything stick out to you at the Direct? We're all going to just go over the stuff we liked at this past Direct and, just get us warmed up to talk some Animal Crossing. Sergio, I'm pretty interested in what you liked at the Direct. What stood out to you?
Well, the biggest surprise by far for me is Mario Strikers Battle League.
Yes.
Because that's a game that I wanted, but it was more like, nah, they're never gonna do that, right?
How could they?
Turns
How
out
could they
they did.
possibly?
Yeah, right? It's gonna be amazing. It looks really good already, and Next Level Games has been making a lot of really, really good games lately, so they're just gonna knock it out of the park, even though it's not baseball, I know. But it's gonna be awesome, I think. I'm surprised that we're getting Mario Kart DLC, even though I'm not ready for Mario Kart 9. It's interesting. I'm curious. Like, it's a very interesting approach that Nintendo is taking because it's gonna be all the way up to 2023 with the DLC. So yeah, very interesting. I also like the Live Alive game, or is it Live Alive? I'm not sure, but it's an RPG.
I think it's Live Alive.
Live Alive. Okay. It's an RPG where you play the lives of six, I think, characters throughout many different periods in history, which sounds really interesting to me. And last but not least, the Klonoa remasters. Those are some platformers that I've never been able to play them, but I've heard very good things, and I've heard they are story heavy in terms of making you cry because of sad things that happen, and that tickles my fancy already.
Yeah, those are great choices. Mario Strikers. I didn't know it was going to be possible. Unfortunately, it's a game that I missed when it first came out, on the GameCube and such. But it's always been one that I've wanted to play. And seeing this one, I was just like, yes. We need to start our own club, have our club going online, and just like do battle with everybody, destroy every team out there, become the best in the world. That's all I want now. It's gonna be we've got to do our own World Cup now.
Ooh, yes.
It'll be cool. And then like there are so many little surprises with that Mario Kart thing. I thought surely the next thing would be Mario Kart 9, right?
Please.
But now it's more of Mario Kart 8.
Yes.
They're just gonna keep it going forever and ever. Doesn't need to stop. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see the tracks, but I was telling people on Nintendo Noise last week that I was always sad about how the N64 tracks got treated in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Two of my favorite tracks, is it Yoshi's Valley from N64?
Yes.
the thing that I really like about that track is that on the N64, it's everybody's question marks, and you don't know
Yes.
who's in
Right,
first the
right.
whole time. They ruined it by making it visible,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then the next thing I really liked was in N64 Rainbow Road, it was just 3 laps on the longest track ever, and it
Yes.
took like 6 minutes to drive through the whole thing 3 times. Why did they turn it into 1 lap?
Yeah.
They ruined those 2 tracks for me, and I'm just gonna be bitter to them. No, but yeah, pretty surprising things, really cool things. Live Alive, I don't know much about, but it looked pretty cool. Looked interesting. I liked it. And then yeah. Nina,
Mm-hmm.
what did you
Mm-hmm.
like from the direct?
I thought the Mario Strikers game looked really cool because it reminded me so much of this PC game I used to play when I was a child called Backyard Soccer.
Ah,
Oh
Did you guys ever play
yeah.
that game?
I remember seeing the commercials for it
yes,
and
Really?
me
being
too.
like, I just want this game. This looks like the greatest thing
I mean,
ever.
you should go back and play it. It's incredible. It's like all of these neighborhood kids getting together to play soccer, or there were other sports too. But the best part was like each kid had his own little voice and personality, and like you got to know their strengths and stuff. So you like became friends with these kids and played soccer with them and went on tournaments and things. And the point of view of Mario Strikers is like the exact looking point of view from Backyard
Right,
Soccer. And
right.
I just had so many flashbacks. Like, I want to play that game again so bad now.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. Anything that takes you back to your childhood
Right.
is just like, yep, that's where I
I
want
need
to
to
be.
drop a picture of the kids in our Discord who are listening live because they just have so much personality and the art is so cute. Here, let me see if I can do that. Anyways, that one just intrigued me because childhood. Um
Oh,
the No Man's Sky. All my friends are playing No Man's Sky right now, and I'm having to play it on my little brother's really old Xbox, which is not optimal. So I'm kind of interested about it being on the Switch. I want to see if it's like cross platform and if it's gonna be open up to everybody online. I don't know how the Switch is gonna handle it, so I'm interested to see that. The Kirby game looked really cool for the trailer, like
Yeah.
when last direct we had, and this one like hyped it for me just a little bit. It's
Oh no.
bizarre. I don't know. I've got to get used to it, I think. Him swallowing that car, but then not swallowing the car made me uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know.
I loved
You
it.
did? Okay. I'm gonna give it a try, definitely. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you all saw, but like somebody has already modded Mario Kart to put Carby
Oh my
in there.
gosh.
That's what they're calling
That's
him.
incredible.
Amazing. Incredible.
Portal coming to Switch. That's exciting. Portal is incredible if no one's played it before. I was excited for all the Kingdom Hearts coming, except for they've done a terrible job with it, so that's upsetting. And it's $90
yes.
Jeez.
for games that are 20 years old. I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. I'm really disappointed in Kingdom Hearts right now and Nintendo. And then Mario Kart's interesting. I don't know why they won't make a new game. But I probably will get the DLC. Probably. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I feel like, it doubles how many racetracks there
Yeah.
are, so
why can't it be a new
it feels worth it
game?
enough. Yeah, it could be a new game,
yeah.
right?
I
Yeah.
don't understand. Plus, we've already
I
had
just-
DLC for this game. So we
Yes.
paid the $60 for it. Then we paid another $30 for it, right? For all the characters and those extra those extra courses.
No, that on the Switch one, it all came included.
Really?
The Switch one has
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
everything already.
Okay, well,
It
I've
was a
paid for
Wii
it
U
twice
one.
then.
Yeah, a lot of us got it twice on the Wii U. Like we paid it for this game a good amount
Yeah,
already.
I've paid for it twice. I've gotten the DLC that came with like Zelda and Animal Crossing and stuff.
Right,
And then
right.
also now there's going to be more deals. Like I'm feeling a little ripped off lately. I don't know. So, it was an interesting direct, but not one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that. I
Mm.
get that. Yeah. I'm really glad that we're all excited for soccer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing, and I'm really glad that we're all sad about Kingdom Hearts because I wish they just like surely. I mean, the first two are on PS2.
Yes,
Like they
Yeah.
exactly.
at least minimum should have been like not cloud versions.
Yes.
Ooh,
You
maybe I
know,
can get it on the Xbox then.
you
Okay.
can. They're all like on Game Pass.
What?
Honestly,
Okay.
you can play
Well
them.
done. Sorry,
Yeah,
Nintendo.
you don't even like. Yeah, Nintendo is not the best place to go for Kingdom
Mm.
Hearts, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's just, you can play it on Xbox and that's just the way it's going to
That makes
be
me
for me at
sad.
least.
I just want to
Yeah,
get
I'm
past
sad about it.
Hercules. I never got past Hercules as a child. I just want to redeem myself.
I believe that you can do it. You are a grown woman with so many more powers than childhood you. You're capable.
I am. I'm coming for you, Hercules.
Yeah. So my exciting things, of course, I had Mario Strikers, Mario
Nice.
Kart. I'm overall excited for it just because I already have the Switch Online plan that will include it, so it's just gonna be a free download
There
for
you
me.
go.
So I'm just like, cool, because I already paid. I already paid. I get it. Kirby, I'm all about it. I loved the mouthful mode. I was like, this is the peak. This is everything that Kirby ever was. 30 years has finally got you to the strongest version of Kirby. Amazing. And then a few, I have a couple games on my list that you all didn't talk about, but I'm excited for Switch Sports. That's what I'm calling it because it's like Wii Sports, but it's Switch
Yeah.
Sports. I like it. I always enjoyed those. I specifically like that they has online. That
Mm.
just having online
Mm.
with games. Like I would appreciate even an Amiibo Festival port if it had
Yeah.
online. If that had online, that game 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Perfect game. All my complaints about it are gone because we can play together online, But yeah, Switch Sports. I'm excited
I
for it.
hope they bring back some of the like quirkier sports. Like so far they just showed
Right.
golf and tennis and like things that we already have games of on the Switch. So I like miss like where you could just go running around the vacation place
Mm.
or you could go like hang gliding. Like I want them to bring back the really obscure parts of Wii Sports.
Yeah, they got to get like all the weird things, bocce ball,
Yeah.
curling, just stuff that like what people do that.
Yeah.
That's a game that you play. I agree. I think they could have like been a bit more adventurous. It seems like it's a mix of stuff, but I mean online bowling.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
gonna be
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
So I don't know. Luckily, it is like gonna be one of the budget
Yeah.
titles or so. So it's not a full priced thing. So yeah, I think that's nice. And it does look like people can still use Mii's
Yeah.
with them. They've got bigger bodies now, but
It's like when Animal Crossing went to
Yeah.
New Leaf and we all of a sudden
Oh,
had
yeah.
legs.
yeah, yeah, it threw people off for a bit, but now it's just that's what villagers look
Yeah.
like. That's normal. Yeah, I agree. And then what else did I want to say? I kind of like I like the new characters. I think they're kind of fun. So they're not too bad.
Yeah.
Overall, I liked it. The other thing, Xenoblade Chronicles 3,
Mm.
I am now more determined than ever to finally beat one of the Xenoblade games because I get like 100 hours into
Whoa.
one, and I'm like halfway through, and that's a me thing. That's like I am incapable of just speeding through RPGs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially JRPGs. Like I get lost in games, and I just have fun doing that, you know? So I'm now determined to get through the other Xenoblade
Mm.
games, see the stories, get to the end of this trilogy. If it is the end, they'll probably come up with something else, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to get to that by September. It's a
Oh.
real soon,
Yeah, it's
real
soon.
quick turnaround.
I've never played
Yeah.
any of
Um,
those games.
They are just big, large games, huge worlds, huge stories, hilarious voice acting. A lot of people complain about it, but I am so endeared by it because it's just like these British accents from all over the UK. It's hilarious. They are over the top and
Yeah.
wonderful,
Yeah.
and I appreciate the wacky things that come out of their
You'll have to
mouths.
stream it sometime.
Yeah, I'll do some streams of
Okay.
them. They're fun. I'm gonna revisit them. I have them all on Switch, so we'll do
Okay.
that. We'll get back to it.
Nice.
Yeah, so overall, that was the direct. Some things to look forward to. Otherwise, I don't know. There's so much coming out this year. I've like I keep a list of like Nintendo releases specifically, and just that alone, it's so busy. Well, I guess it's a list of Nintendo published games.
Oh wow.
And I mean, the year starting out with, Pokemon Legends, not really anything published by Nintendo in February, but then it's like Triangle Strategy, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Advance Wars, Nintendo Switch Sports,
Sweet.
Mario Strikers, Fire Emblem Warriors, Splatoon, Mario Rabbids, Xenoblade, Bayonetta 3, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, hopefully is this year, but it's going to be a busy one. Lots of games to play.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's just the stuff we know about. There's still a whole E3 to get to
Oh,
later.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah, so who even knows what's beyond that stuff? Because there's probably more.
Man, we're halfway through February.
Yeah, we're literally, this is the halfway mark. All right, well, let's go ahead and start talking about Animal Crossing New Horizons. We have all had very huge life events in Animal Crossing.
We all got married.
Yeah, we all got married in Animal Crossing. No. We just, we've been going through our Animal Crossing journeys, doing some different things. Stuff has changed. We're going to check in with all of you, see what's going on, and then just ask tons of questions because we're going to get nosy like that. So I guess I can kick it off for now. I left Animal Crossing for 30 days. A whole month I spent away from New Horizons. I will say, technically, I did play, but it just wasn't on my account, and I only played a couple times outside of my account. One was that I played in Last Crosser Standing, which EJ runs. It is a Survivor-themed game, and we're actually going to have EJ on next week for you all. It'll be fun. EJ is tons of fun. We're excited to have him on to chat and all that.
Chuy, I
But-
heard you were ruthless during Survivor.
Really?
Listen, listen. When it comes to games of
Oh my
deception,
gosh.
I love betrayal. I must betray. That is the thing that I'm all about. I
Wow.
remember there was this game called The Resistance, and it's basically like, if you think of Among Us, there's somebody amongst you who is a spy and trying to destroy all your plans, right?
Right.
My friend, he said, I will not play those games with you anymore because of because of the enjoyment I get out of lying and sabotaging everything.
It's like Mafia. Have you ever played Mafia in real life?
Yeah, it's exactly like Mafia. Yes. That is it. So oh my goodness, I had so much fun. I was just like, just telling the chat, I was like, okay, I am in a pickle here. I need to lie my way out of this
Oh
and
man.
just throw people under the bus.
Wow.
Ye be
It
warned.
backfired on
Oh
me.
no.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I mean, but I had fun doing it. I watched EJ's side
Mhm.
of the things and just seeing his reactions to what I was doing it was great. So I love that. It's a fun game. We're gonna have him on next week. It should be great.
Nice.
Um, but I guess back to my little story about leaving Animal Crossing. For anybody who didn't know, I'm not a time traveler. I specifically left Animal Crossing for 30 days to unlock the secret hairstyle that only appears after you've been away from the game for 30 days. So spent the time away, played some other games, and really the days I felt it most were on Saturdays and
Aw.
Sundays, mostly because
Mm.
I finally put alarms for myself to go to KK Slider shows and to get turnips. And every Saturday and Sunday, I would get those alerts, and I'm like, oh yeah, time to go. Wait, I'm not playing
Oh.
that game. And so, yeah, it was rough on those days. Other days, it wasn't so bad. Kept busy with there were so many other things to play and everything. So, yeah, ultimately spent the 30 days away. I had to write an article for Patch, or not Patch, for the crossing board that needed some pictures. So when I did finally log in, I unfortunately did not stream that and capture me walking out of my house and having this bed head and then shaking
Right.
my hair so it's normal again. But that happens. It's like in New Leaf, if you ever saw it there,
Mhm.
works a bit the same.
Mm.
But really, really cool to get that hairstyle. It was fun to have something different happen when I walked out. And then I walked into my house. I had a cockroach in there, and I was
Aw.
just like, time to stomp on you
No.
and see your little
The little
soul flutter
soul.
away." And so I finally got to clear my house. I only had the one because usually, like, it gives you a little message like, yay, the cockroaches are all
Yeah.
gone.
Oh.
Everything's all better. And so I just smushed one, and then it was like, yay, it's better
Yeah.
now. And I was like, oh, okay. I
Just
guess
one.
that was quick. I thought I'd have more,
Oh,
honestly.
I just remembered that Michi was getting cockroaches for her house on purpose because she is doing the Hollywood Tower Hotel. And
Oh
then
wow.
Oh.
her favorite, oh my gosh, what's her name? Not Bubbles, the opposite of Bubbles. Bertha came over,
Bertha.
asked to come over, and when she came in, she like did the shocked thing about the bugs and was like, "I've got to go." And we just like, no, no one wants to go to her house anymore. Like they've stopped asking her.
Yep, they know that place is gross.
Oh.
No, that's hilarious. I love it. Yeah, the other thing that happens with cockroaches, and honestly, I only learned this through my secondary accounts, but your score actually goes down from the Happy Home Academy
Mm.
With
when you
cockroaches.
have
That makes
cockroaches.
sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, and it was really funny because I was like, "Why?" I think I was streaming one day, and I was like, Why are their scores so low?" And like, they have some things in there. Shouldn't they get points for that? And then they had cockroaches in their house, and I think somebody on stream, I don't remember who, but somebody told me like it's because you have cockroaches that they bring your score down. And I was like, "Oh, how
Oh.
clever! How nice!" So yeah, kind of a fun thing, but yeah, it's fun to be back. It was today I streamed it for the first time in like a month, and it was nice. We did some cleanup. We're getting prepped, getting back into the swing of things, so I can finally 100% this game.
Hmm.
That's
Nice.
the goal, and that was the whole reason to get the bed head.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah. So I dressed up. I will say I'm probably gonna sport this bed head for like 30 days
Yes,
because
you should.
I've earned it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not taking it off.
Then we'll bring you over some detangling spray.
Definitely, definitely. I gotta, at least be able to recover from this eventually. So I will open up the floor to both of you. Feel free to ask me anything about my experience leaving New Horizons and finally coming back.
Yeah.
Sergio, you go first.
Well, Chuy, my most important question is which special character did you miss the
Oh.
most?
Oh, the which special character? I think I I missed Brewster and
Hmm.
it it's tough. Probably KK Slider, Brewster, or Daisy May.
Hmm.
And KK Slider and Daisy May because every single week I'm getting reminded about them and going
Yes.
like, oh, I need to do this, but I can't because I'm not playing. But also like Brewster, I think I was getting really worried about my math on when to come back, and I was just like, I want to
Right.
make sure I'm back to get the hot chocolate for Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. And luckily it worked out that way that I could. And so, yeah, I got my hot chocolate, but I was really scared that I was going to miss, like, a really special Brewster
Hmm.
moment. I
Yeah.
think that's really nice. And I got to stream it, and it's really fun because he just kind of offers you a cup of something. He's not specific because he will mention like coffee in other dialogues, but in
Yes.
this one, he doesn't mention it. So you're kind of surprised by the hot chocolate. It's cool.
That's so
Yeah.
exciting.
But yeah, KK and Daisy May are up there, but I think my worries were over that Brewster moment,
Hmm.
Mm.
What did
Yeah,
you?
that makes sense. I was hoping for KK, but yeah, you explained yourself out of that one.
Dug myself out of a hole.
What did you play in the meantime?
Oh, so many things. I beat 4 different games in January
Whoa.
because of
Mm.
all of that. And I haven't, it would be 5 if I could bring myself to play the story of Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I just keep catching them all. But I played, let me get my list open
Okay.
here. Is this, nope, that's the wrong folder. I know I finally finished new Pokemon Snap,
Wow.
which is
Yes.
delightful. I when that game came out, I was playing it like at night, before bed, and that was a fun way to just spend my time. But I never got to complete it, and we streamed it a few times, and it was a good time. Pokemon Brilliant
Mm.
Diamond. I
Oh.
thought I was excited to revisit Diamond and Pearl because I haven't played them since years and years ago when they came out. So I beat Brilliant Diamond. It was fine. I like Pokemon Legends Arceus a lot
Yeah.
more. Um, Lo-Fi Ping Pong. That game is strange. I don't recommend getting it, but I do recommend looking up the
Hmm.
ending. It is look up like a little bit of the game, see it played, but then look up the ending because
Mm.
it's just like I laughed when I saw it. I was like, "Oh my goodness, that is hilarious." And then Bug Fables,
Oh.
it's so good. Bug Fables was wonderful. And I got to revisit Ukulele, which is, spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes.
I love it now.
Really?
I think that game is so much better than I remembered it
Yeah, it
being.
has
And part
terrible
of it,
reviews.
oh yeah, I understood why, because if you go straight from like Mario Odyssey to
Hmm.
Ukulele, not
Mm.
great. Don't
Yeah.
make that jump. It is a downgrade. But honestly, like going from Banjo-Kazooie to
Mm.
Ukulele, it feels like what you remember Banjo-Kazooie feeling like. Because if you revisit Banjo-Kazooie, you're like,
Oh.
this doesn't feel as nice as I remember it feeling. And then you play Ukulele, and you're like, this is Banjo-Kazooie. What are
Interesting.
you? Yeah, the first 2 worlds are a bit of a struggle, I will say, because it's like you can't do everything in them. You really have to like go to the next worlds to unlock some powers and then return and
Mm.
everything. But by
Mhm.
World 3, that kind of went away, and you could just like I did most everything in World 3, and I had a really fun night going through that. And then the next world was like real funky. It was like a casino
Oh.
thing, and
Oh.
and overall, like I remembered the game not running too well before, and it being kind of like lots of frame rate drops and stuff, but there've definitely been some upgrades to it since, and it ran a lot better. and I just had a much better time playing it. So I think once I'm done with Legends, Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
Legends, I am gonna go back to Ukulele and try to finish that one
Mm,
off.
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Nice.
Good time.
Mm.
Those were some fun games you played.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering, Chewy, how did you make up for your weekly missings of KK?
Oh.
Oh, poor KK Slider. I don't think I did a good enough job of making up for it, to be honest with you. I mostly would just see my alarm go off and just be sad that I
Aw.
couldn't see KK Slider. So I guess that's just what I felt. I was like, I want the new songs. I still haven't gotten all of the new
Oh.
songs, so
Mm,
I still have plenty of reasons to go see them even if it's just to get the new music, you know. But
right, right.
yeah, I should have learned more KK songs while I was taking this break.
There you
That's what I
go.
would do. Go
Yes.
back and do.
Do you
Hmm.
really have a KK alarm?
Yeah, I
Do you
do.
have a Daisy May alarm?
I do. I they're called Buy Turnips and Go
I
See
need to
KK.
do that. What a good idea.
Yeah, I just put alarms in my
Yeah.
phone. And that's every time and I did it like at a bad time because I finally put them in place
While you were
when I
playing.
stopped
Yeah,
playing.
right.
And so every single time it got around to that, I was like, oh, I missed this.
That's incredible.
So yeah, set alarms. It'll help.
So, you kind of answered my next question about you played a little bit of Crunchy. You said, did you play any other secondary characters? Like, how often did you cheat on this?
Um, I mostly played as Wirt in
Mm.
my island because Crunchy is on a different
Yeah.
Switch. I didn't log into that one at
Mm,
all. But Wirt, he's like the secondary character that I've gotten furthest along, I would say. And so and he's connected to like an online profile as well. So when I found out I was going to be doing the last crosser standing competition, I was like, oh, I better go in, make sure Wirt looks like my character. So I changed how he looked and made it look like me,
right.
like my own
Yeah.
Chewy. Luckily, we have all the same patterns shared. Like normally, I want people to have their different patterns, so we have more pattern slots and stuff. But in this case, it helped me out because I was like, oh, I can wear my eyebrows that I
Oh,
had.
yeah.
Great. Yeah, so I put my eyebrows on. I got one of my custom sweaters that I made. Went over to the other island to play the game. But yeah, I did a little bit of prep work. I also had a ton of Nook miles, so I could buy some of the extra
Mm.
things, get some emotes, and dress up the character a little bit more because there's kind of a lot of stuff you have to unlock to make characters feel more alive
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice to get additional emotes because even that, like, you have to unlock emotes one at a time just
Mhm.
from your villagers coming
Right.
up and saying like, "Here's how you do it," And so, yeah, it was an interesting way to go about it, but it also made me think of like, oh man, this game has so much to do
Yeah.
when you first start
Yeah.
it.
Wait,
Yeah,
Chewy,
so I like that.
does your custom Chewy amiibo from Brackenhawk have eyebrows?
You know what? It does.
Oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
details.
It's all accurate. Brackenhawk, amazing
For
job.
real.
I've been waiting. I was just talking to them. I have been waiting for two of their streams. One, they're opening an entire box of Series 5
Ooh.
amiibo.
Oh, wow.
Are they streaming again?
And not
Okay.
yet, but hopefully we get a couple this
Okay.
month. Yeah, and then the second one would be Animal Forest E Plus, the HD translated version
Oh.
they've been working
Wow.
on. Those streams are so exciting for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Sorry, that
Mhm.
was off
Nice.
topic.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Well, Chewy, it's my turn, and I'm gonna ask you if there's anyone you didn't miss in your break from Animal Crossing.
I'd say of the characters I didn't really think of too much, I kind of didn't really think of Isabel or Tom Nook
Oh,
a lot. I think it's mostly because, like, they don't have much to offer me at my point in the game, like it's pretty
right.
late game. Everything they had going on that was big. Tom Nook a little bit more now that we go through him to like, decorate people's places, but yeah, definitely didn't think of Label at all. LaBelle, yeah, not a single
Yeah.
thought
Mm,
on her. But I'd say the ones that were like more front of mind was like, the people that I would want to go visit over on Harv's.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so
mm.
yep, I didn't mislabel. That's it.
Poor label. Do you think that this time away, like, made you kind of think about what you want to do with Haken? And was it, like, ultimately a positive thing to do? Like, are you excited to get back into the game again?
I think I felt like I did come up with like ideas of what I wanted to happen, but it also like it feels like the same ones that I've always had
Mm.
that I've wanted to happen, but haven't felt like a huge urge to do them. But now I'm like, you know what? Let's get organized. Let's move things. I think it did bring back some of the energy for me.
Interesting.
Mm.
But yeah, I'll see how it goes as I play though too, because I had a lot of fun playing other games.
Yeah.
And so like part of me is like, all right, now how do I get the best balance of these where I do a bit of
Right,
Animal Crossing?
right.
I might try doing what I did with New Leaf just before New Horizons came out and do like just 30 minutes, really try to do maybe do a morning 30-minute
Mm.
New Horizons stream and make them more targeted play sessions, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm feeling excited to work on the things that I left off in that time. Um, but I still think that I want to cut it back a little bit.
Okay.
Mm. All right, Chu, I have one last question for you, and I think this one is gonna be the one that makes you think the most. I think so. Would you have done this on a previous Animal Crossing game, in one where your villagers could leave if you didn't play enough? Or I'm gonna also add one that had, grass degradation. So maybe if you came back, your town or island was gonna be a mess. Would you
Oh.
still have done this?
Mm, I think I think it would really just have to depend on if there was a reward for it, because
Mm,
I think New Leaf did have a bedhead, but I don't think you had to wait as long as 30 days to get that one.
right, right.
It might have been 30, but I remember it being like a
Oh,
week or
yeah, I gotta
two
Google
or
that.
so. Kind of quicker. Yeah, if you let me know. Um so I'd say like if I were really trying to be completionist about it and there was something that you could only unlock through not playing, I would do it. But if there's not, probably not. I would just keep logging in here and there, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Did
I'm
you find
looking it
out,
up.
Nina?
In City Folk it says 15 days. I don't see New Leaf. So I wonder if it was the same in New
I
Leaf.
think so. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Uh,
Yeah, and I didn't even realize it. City Folk did it too.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's
Yeah,
most of the
yeah.
games right there. So, I guess I
Right.
would do it.
Interesting.
Man, so just any reward, or I guess you said like it depends on the reward, but you're not afraid of some of the consequences.
Yeah, and I'd say it would have to, I think even with like New Leaf, the thing that stands out with New Horizons is that like once you get that bedhead, it's one that unlocks in your hairstyles. So it is something
Yeah.
Right.
that you can get over and over again.
Yes, yes.
Like in the other games, you have to like actively not change your hair from the bedhead to keep it.
Right.
Mhm.
So I think overall the reward was just felt better in New
Yeah,
Horizons.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My last question is, do you recommend this like cold turkey method of non-playing to anyone who's feeling uninspired with Animal Crossing?
I'd say if you're feeling uninspired, for sure.
Yeah.
Like take some time off. It's not a bad thing. You can do my thing and just wait the 30 days till you get that hairstyle, or you could just take as long as you need.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't Yeah, like if you're feeling uninspired, like by all means take a little break. It's perfectly fine. This one, oh, I will say, I think the biggest surprise to me with this game, and coming back after that long, was how much I appreciated my villagers mentioning it.
Oh,
Because I think in the past, people really they didn't like that feeling of like their villagers being like, where did you go? Why did you leave me? Like the feeling of abandoning
yeah.
them, right? But in this one, I don't know. I just felt I talked to Pearl, and she was just so worried about me and happy to see me and everything. And that dialogue that I got was just like, yeah, Pearl, you're such a great friend. So
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I appreciated that. So sometimes, just take some time away and then reunite with your
Yeah.
friends. It's pretty
They have
nice.
like less of a dependent or not relationship with you in this game, and it's more like you're equals, and they're just kind of want to know what you've been up to. It's not like,
Yeah.
where have
Right.
you been? It's like, oh, where have you been?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, exactly. They're there to be your friends in this one. It's
Hmm.
nice. All right. I guess that's everything on my end. Nina, you've got a big story to tell us,
Oof.
and I'm glad I see Quantrell in the chat here. It's a big one.
You're glad you're sequential. Well, so yes, because we've been talking about this since our like call-in episode before the new year, right? It was in December when we did
Right.
that big
Right.
call-in episode.
Yes.
That's right.
Um, and Quantrell said he was restarting January 1st, right? Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I've finally bit the bullet and I deleted Keelhaul yesterday. I
Wow.
completely deleted it. I did do some like backup stuff to make sure that I have some good memories, but I'll get into that in a second. I kind of some background. Since we have done that call-in episode, you guys know that I've been feeling weird about Keelhaul. Like it was time to move on, and I was trying to figure out why that is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like specifically the last couple times I've logged in, which was a while ago because I haven't played in a while, I would just log in and kind of wander around for 5 minutes and then realize there's literally nothing for me to do except for like maybe dig up the fossils, but there's even no point in doing that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was just how I wanted it to be. Nothing needed to be changed or demolished. Like even the villagers' yards, which I like to change around, seemed great. Like I was just happy with everything, which I didn't like. I don't ever want to be happy. um, so it just was like this feeling of completion, which doesn't like I haven't even finished the art museum, so it's not true completion, but it's like Keelhaul. I did everything that I could for Keelhaul. So I started working towards like cleaning it up as best as I could, getting all the flowers in the most perfect spots, and uploading my final dream address. Um, then I moved a couple things over to Fox Cove, my secondary island that I just really haven't done too much with. Um, like some starter money, some cute clothes that are hard to get at the beginning of the game, some sentimental stuff from Emmett that I didn't want to lose. I
Mm-hmm.
even saved some art from Red because it's so hard to get art from Red. So I do have a
Mm-hmm.
couple things that I'm saving. Not a whole lot, like maybe 2 pockets fulls. On I left on Fox Cove, and that was it. I said goodbye to my villagers, and I took a couple pictures, and that was it. I deleted it. Because I realized that my favorite part of this game is working towards something. I love collecting the bugs and the fish and seeing the museum grow. Um, I want to be excited to see the villagers crafting again. Like there was, other than the new food recipes, I would go into their house, and if they were crafting, I was like, oh, great, I'm going to have an extra DIY in my pocket that I don't need, you know? Like, I didn't like not being excited for things. And the beginning of the game has such a good storyline. So yeah, it's gone. I've got my new, I finally came up with a new theme. It took me 2 weeks, or over 2 weeks even, partly because I was nannying one weekend and couldn't think about it at all. But I've got a new theme. I've got my new town name. I'm ready to go. I'm excited again. And I have been restarting for 2 days. I can't, like, it was very hard. All I wanted was a green airport to go with my theme. I did not want oranges or apples because I had apples in Keelhaul and I don't really like the look of the oranges. And I wanted to make sure I had tide pools because, as you guys know, we did not have tide pools in Keelhaul, and it has bothered me for years. And I kind of wanted like an off-center resident services. Also, if there was ever a kangaroo starter, I restarted.
So rude.
I'm sorry. So yeah, it took me 2 days to find those things, which I don't even think that's many things. But green airports apparently are very rare. I got blue more often than not. But I ended up with what I wanted. I think I've got to double check on the tide pools, but the rocks up north look pretty good. I just can't see them yet. I can't wait to do that tonight.
I guess I lucked out because I just went with my first island that I landed on, and it was a green airport right from the beginning.
Well, and with Keelhaul, I was restarting a lot because I wanted a yellow airport. So, you know, it's just kind of the aesthetic for each different town. And Fox Cove has an orange one, so we're good with that. Anyways, that's my very long story.
I love it. I can kick off the questions here. My first one's a joke. I was just like, why though? Why did you restart?
I feel like I explained that pretty well, right?
Yeah, you explained it well. You're good. My first real question is, did you save like a special dream address of Keelhaul? Specifically, like, were you waiting for the right day, time, that sort of thing to just like really highlight it in your favorite way?
No, I think that like it's perfect at twilight during the summer, like, but it's winter now, so I didn't want to wait that long.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it is a winter dream address, but that's okay. It happens.
I get you.
And I was so active on Twitter with Keelhaul. So there are photos and videos, like there's literal walkthrough videos that I made on Twitter 30 seconds at a time using the Switch. So, you know, and I feel like you even made a tour of it in the early days.
That's
so
true.
it exists out there. It is in our hearts. So I, even though the dream address isn't perfect, it's still there too. It'll be good.
Makes sense. Yeah. I guess there are a lot of memories that you have.
Yeah, there really are. And my Switch is full of pictures.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, my first question is if there's anything from Keelhaul that you are going to either fully on like recreate in your new island, something that you kind of just need that part of Keelhaul, or maybe just like a tiny piece of it or something like an homage to Keelhaul in some way?
Good question. I haven't really thought of that. I think if I get a animal that's kind of piratey, it's definitely allowed to have a pirate yard, you know, or I can lean into the pirate theme if I redecorate their home, which I've got to start Happy Home Designer all over again too, which is crazy to me.
Wow.
But I kind of want to do things differently. I've done Keelhaul, so I'm ready for something new. Though I have a feeling my downtown will end up looking kind of the same, but we'll see.
That's fun. You know, This isn't my next question, but I think it's one that fits in with what Sergio just asked. But is there anything you felt you couldn't do on Keelhaul but want to explore on this new island?
Mm.
So I didn't do a lot of terraforming with Keelhaul. I really liked how natural it was. And I kind of
Mm-hmm.
leaned into that a lot. And I still want my new town to be pretty natural, but there are some things that I want to try out. Like especially in your Haken, I like how you had all your villagers like on different tiers, but kind of near each other. Like I think it'd be fun to play around
Mm.
with that. Or I've even seen and visited some islands where as soon as you get off the airport, you have to go up. I think that's really interesting too.
Yes.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
my new town is going to be kind of tea themed, and kind of a cozy forest theme. So I think it will be interesting to play more with layers than I did in Keelhaul.
That's
Ah,
fun.
Once I
nice.
get to that
Yeah.
point, it'll be a little while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, who do you miss the most from
Mm.
Keelhaul?
I already miss Gonzo.
I
I
thought
already
so.
do. But I have his card. I think I have his card. I'll look. If not, I'm gonna buy it on Etsy, or eBay or whatever. Yeah, I'm in, but I kind of want my new town to maybe automatically fill instead of hunt
Mm.
for villagers.
Oh,
Mm.
nice.
I would like a lot of bears. I kind of want it to be like a bear
Right,
tea
right.
forest, but we'll see. So I don't know. I haven't worked things out as I did with Keelhaul, which I'm also excited for.
Mm.
So we'll see.
That's fun. Are you excited to see how the game plays out with all the new content specifically? Like,
Yes. Oh my gosh. And
yeah.
this kind of just dawned on me today with like, when am I going to unlock red? And I've heard that the beginning museum doesn't happen anymore. Like it just is huge, right?
Yeah, I think they
Oh,
removed the kind
okay.
of like in between
Right.
museum.
Wow.
And then like when does the cafe get built and when does the dock open up? Like I'm very excited
Yeah.
to see this new storyline. And
Yeah,
I'll tell you guys all about it too.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited to hear how that goes because it's like, it's we got a very specific experience of the game where it
Yeah.
had a lot less things and now there's just so much. It's fun to see how it fits
Mhm.
in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, will you be giving any of your villagers like a special story roles, kind of like you did with Gonzo or your gang of pirates? Do you have any plans already for your bears or your new
I
villagers?
do. I want definitely
Oh.
someone to be like the tea farmer. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna have to help me remember when we did like a Haken home designer a long time ago, like early in the game. We visited someone's house who had these really cool like tea tiers. Like like it was a tea farm, but it was like on the side of a mountain. Do you guys remember that? And we went and visited, and I think you
Hmm.
streamed it, Chewy. Am I making all this up? Um,
No, I think
I
you're
th-
right.
but I kind of
I
want to
think
do
you're
something like
right.
that, and I can't remember who it is. So please let us know if it's you. But I keep thinking about that, and that was such a cool way to do like the farm. Um, because so much tea is grown, kind of like scaffold like that. I can't remember the real word for it. Um, but
Hmm.
I also want someone to be like the tea shop owner. I really like to play with the villagers' yards, so I'm excited to do that again.
Oh.
Hmm. That's fun. I will try to remember who that was so we can,
Yes, it's
see them as inspiration
yes, it
again.
was so good, and I wonder if they even still have that town anymore. If they've moved on, it's driving me crazy. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Cool. My next one is Because I know one of your big struggles with deciding whether to delete and restart or just do a new island on your other Switch and everything was just like, is it going to be as exciting and everything? But like, do you expect to feel like kind of invigorated in this game now that Keelhaul is officially gone?
I kind of already do. I've got my Switch next to me. And I hate to say this, but I'm ready for this podcast to be over so I can go play. Not really though. But and I was like at school today, like wishing I had brought my Switch with me so that I could be restarting and trying to get my island. So already
Hmm.
going from like a few months of not playing at all, I'm already excited again, which I love that feeling. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's really
Hmm.
fun.
Nice. Well, my last question, you kind of answered it already, but I'm gonna try to spin it a little bit.
Okay.
Do you feel like you're done with Keelhaul, or do you ever see yourself reminiscing about it so much that you might be like, well, I have all these photographs and we have Chuy's video, maybe I could do something with that, or do you feel like you're ready to completely move on?
Mm. I don't think I'd ever like try to remake it or anything like that, but I think I will always feel nostalgia for it because it got us through such weird times in our lives. Like
True.
the Animal Crossing is always going to be like my pandemic memory and how I
Yeah.
connected with people when I was the most isolated I've ever been. And Keelhaul was a huge part of that. So I think I will always feel nostalgic for it, but kind of like I always feel nostalgia for this old house I used to live in an area of Atlanta called Cabbagetown. Um, but I'm realizing like probably I don't want to live in that house anymore. But it was like that time of my life where all my friends were in walking distance, and there there was the cute little shops nearby, and just kind of like a cozy nostalgic feeling, which wouldn't be the same if I moved back now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
just
yes.
it's a good happy memory to have, and that's kind of how I want to remember Keelhaul.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There was just like a lot of stuff that came together and made that the memory that it
Yeah,
is.
everything clicked.
Hmm.
Mm.
And I've got one more question for you.
Okay.
Are you going to time travel?
So my answer is already yes, which I'm a little embarrassed about. I'm not planning on doing it more than a month. But I realized restarting
Okay.
last night that if I started on the day that it was last night, I would
Hmm.
probably miss festival and I would have missed my birthday, which
Oh.
I was not
Mm,
home for this year. Um,
right.
so I'm going to start like January 30th or so, and then
Hmm.
kind of slowly scoot through that month until I'm in real time. Just because the first couple of days you do run out of things a little quickly. But I'm not going to be doing like 6 days in one day. I like do maybe 2 days in a day. And mostly time travel or travel normally through time, I guess. But I just wanted to, yeah,
Regular.
regular time. But I waited so long for my birthday the first time around that I didn't want to miss it again this year. And I love festival, so I don't want to miss that either. So that's my
Hmm.
apologetic reasoning.
Makes sense, makes sense. And it all really just came down to when you finally came up with your theme and, you know, you take as long as you need to get the right island for this
Yeah, it took a
place.
while. Oh, and I forgot to say it's called bergamot, which is this really amazing, citrus fruit that's used in a lot of black teas like Earl Grey, which you guys know is my
Oh.
favorite. It's not a
Hmm.
it's not a fruit you want to eat, but the oil is used. So yeah, my new town name is Bergamot.
Ah.
And what's your character's
It's
name?
still Grizzly. So like in my head,
Mm.
Okay.
Grizzly did such a good job with Keelhaul that Nook was like, "Hey, I've got another island for you." And
Makes sense.
moved her on.
Nice.
Cool. Well, that's fun. I'm really excited for you to be, just playing this, getting a new experience from it, and it'll be fun to check in with you to see how it's
Yeah, I
going.
can't wait to be like your boots on the ground reporter about what the game is like now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Sergio, you are up. It is your time to tell us your little gameplay story here.
All right. Well, um, you might remember that when we got Happy Home Paradise, um, most people really got into it because, most people were very excited about it, and I was too. It looked really good. And I did play it when it first came out, but it just didn't click with me. It reminded me of Happy Home Designer, which also didn't click with me back when that came out. And it's not that I don't like it per se or didn't like them, it's just they didn't click for me. Maybe I was in the mood for more like faster paced games or more intense type of games. So I did not really play Happy Home Paradise, when it
Mm,
came out. And, time went by and I was talking to a very close friend of mine and he told me, you know what if you just do one or two houses every weekend,
Mm.
like once a week, one or two houses a week. And I thought, you know what, that's actually a very nice approach. And it works for me best during weekends because I have more time in the morning to play games. So I said, yeah, I'll do at least two houses every weekend. And that's what I've been doing.
Mm.
Um, I'm about 12 houses in. I've done 12 different houses in two facilities. Um,
mm.
and I'm actually really, really, really enjoying my experience with it
Oh,
this time.
I'm so excited for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fun. Nina, do you want to kick off the questions here?
My first question is, oh my gosh, yay. I'm so excited for you. Is Nico still your favorite so far?
Yes, yes, definitely yes. But you'll be happy to hear this. I'm warming up to Wardell a
Yay.
lot,
Good.
actually.
Good.
Yes. I don't want to spoil something that I really like that happened as I was playing the game, but yeah, Wardell is shining.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait
Yes.
to do like an all spoilers episode of Happy Home Paradise with you guys. Like we'll let people know that if they haven't finished, please don't listen, but
Yes.
I want
Right.
to
Right.
get
Hmm.
into it with you guys.
Yeah, we definitely need to get to that point where we talk about it because there's so much to say about that
Yeah.
whole
Mhm.
experience. All right, Sergio, my question for you is whose homes have you decorated?
Ooh.
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry to say that I'm not very good with names, and I should actually start paying attention to this because this is one of the things that I liked about Pocket Camp in Happy Home Designer and Paradise, that you sort of get to meet villagers that are outside your comfort zone or
Yeah.
outside the ones in your town
Mm,
or island in this case. So yes, I need to do that for sure. I need to pay attention to the names and get to know the villagers better. I do have a few standouts. Kyle the wolf, he
mm-hmm,
wanted a house with cool lighting, which I thought was a really unique
Mm.
request that he had. I like that one a lot. Um, I don't remember a lot of the other names. I remember Jeremiah, but I'll talk about that in another question that's coming up. But yeah, Chuy, I actually do need to pay attention to the names more.
No, but I love it. I love that you're getting to meet new
Yeah.
villagers.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I love Kyle. He's one of those villagers that is in like a character like he's a wolf, but actually
Yes.
he's an African wild dog. You know, those are my favorite
Hmm.
kinds of characters.
Yes.
He's cool. Okay. Uh what so you said you've done the school and the cafe? Okay.
Yes, correct.
What do you think of the storyline so far?
I like it, and I think this is something you mentioned, and a lot of people also mentioned, but it has more story than I was expecting.
Yeah.
More interactions with Lottie and Wardell and Nico that are kind of lengthy and unexpected and really, really
Hmm.
good. Like, I love all of it. Um, I guess at some point when we were talking about this, I thought, well, I'm gonna be playing this game for the interior designing. I wanna make it like I wanna basically I was quantifying it, and I'm still am in a way, like I'm doing one or two houses every week, but I'm not minding the storyline parts at all. It's not like I thought maybe they were gonna get in the way of the progress. Not at all. I'm actually really enjoying the little bits of story that I've seen, and I'm looking forward to a lot more.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It only gets better and better.
Oh man.
So you did mention a little bit about, playing it and everything, and I know one of your challenges with this at least like Happy Home Designer in the past was the gameplay. How have your feelings toward the decorating gameplay changed with Paradise?
I think they have changed. Well, it's hard to say. I think I just stuck around with it long enough for it to click.
Mm.
And now I
Mm-hmm.
have my approach to how I do things is like, and it's how I actually design my island or my towns in previous Animal Crossing games. It's okay if this was the request that I wanted to do. Like if they asked me for like a napping room and I wanted a napping room, how would I design it? I try to put myself in
Mm.
the character's place and what would I want here or here? How would I design this? Would I like this better here or over there? And I get into it. Like I'm getting like I get nitpicky about it, and usually I wouldn't be like that, but I'm really getting to enjoy the everything about it. Everything about it. I guess with the caveat that I'm mostly playing while listening to my own music.
Mm.
Um, and it's not like I wouldn't play it otherwise, but it definitely helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's one song basically.
Yeah.
Right.
So it makes sense to like, put something else on to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a good kind of background game. Like you don't even really need to be thinking
Yes.
when you do it very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting. Um, have you been like, you can unlock the little DIYs on the beach for the glowing
Mhm.
moss items. Have you been like crafting any of that stuff yet, or have you been looking through Wardell's inventory of new items? Have you gotten to explore any of those things?
Not a lot of it. I do look for the bottle now whenever I go,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't crafted them yet, but I like to get them. I'll craft them at some point later. For Wardell, I always look to see if there's something that I want on my island. So far, nothing has clicked enough for me to like, ooh, I need this
Mm-hmm.
type of thing. Other than I think around when we first started playing, there was a really nice big plant that I wanted, and I got it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I always look, and it's nice to always take a look around.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun looking. There's so much
Yeah.
available
Yeah.
there.
Oh.
And I'm always too broke to buy it all. Um, I wanted to go back and, discuss the villagers a little bit. I wanted to know, how do you choose who to decorate for?
Okay, so this was actually something that I thought about. And, at first, I guess kind of following into my old patterns before, I was looking like, who do I know? Who do I kind of like have a relationship with from previous games or like, who has been in my towns or in my island before? But we talked about that's not the best way to meet new villagers, right? So I've been doing something kind of silly, but that actually works for that. Whenever I get out of the main building, I always go immediately to the right, and whoever is there, that's who I decide for.
Oh.
So it's kind of a way of
Oh.
randomizing who's gonna be my
Mm-hmm.
next client, and I'm getting to meet new villagers that way.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Man,
That's so fun.
you're so good at self-control with that kind of stuff. I'd be like, no. That's incredible. Did you, when you made your school and your cafe, did you go with the theme or anything like that?
Not a theme, but honestly, those are the two that I spend the most time on. And especially the cafe. Actually, this past weekend, I only did one instead of the usual two because it was the cafe.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh no, this is gonna take me a while because I want it to be perfect. I mean, I love coffee and I love going to coffee shops and cafes. So I knew I was gonna be extra nitpicky, and I definitely was. It took me hours and hours, but it came out perfectly. I loved it. I loved it. I called it Café Castaño, which makes
Oh.
perfect sense. And yeah, same for the school. I actually spent a lot of time on that one too. No theme, but it's just, I guess, my approach to it. It's like, how would I want it to be designed? How would I want like the best school to be in? Like, I would actually want to go to that school or to that cafe. That's been my approach for both of them, and I love the way those two facilities came out for me.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, they're like the big doozies. Like the homes you can get
Yes.
done fairly quickly depending on how into it you get. But man,
Right.
the facilities, it's like I need to carve out time in my day to work on these. How
Yes.
fun.
That's really fun. Yeah, so much to do. I did want to ask you, do you visit your facilities after the
Oh.
fact?
No, you know what? And I'm glad you're asking me this because I'm guessing there's a reason why I should, even just to see it. I do enjoy how when you're done, then the game kind of puts you into it as it is already being used as a school or as a cafe,
Mhm.
and you get like the whole ambience of it, and it's awesome to see that. So, no, I definitely need to go back and visit those facilities
Mhm.
outside of, after I just completed them.
Especially later on. You need to
Mm-hmm.
do
Ah.
Yeah,
that.
definitely visit them.
Ooh. All right, I will.
Whose home have you been most proud of?
Okay, so this is one that I remembered because this one, I wasn't expecting much of it at first, but it came out amazing. It's my favorite. It was Jeremiah, and he wanted like a bunk bed type place, like a napping paradise or something like that, he called it. And he had a lot of like blue items right off the get-go. I mean, he's blue too, so I thought, oh, okay, it makes sense, right? And I just kept going with blue things that fit the theme of napping. And I don't know, it's not necessarily the theme, I guess. It's just the color. Pretty much everything is blue, and it came out awesome. I like for
Mm,
some reason I loved it. I love all the blueness about it, and just the napping blue room. I love the way it came out.
that's so. I love when rooms sneak up on you like that. When you're like, "Oh, I'll take
Right.
this one," and you get so into it. I love that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. I've got one last question for you. How do you pick a location for a home? Because, we get that little screen it gives us the little grid to choose a
Right.
plot. How do you make your decision?
So again, I go with what it's been asked of the home. Like if, for example, somebody asked me for like a napping field, and I thought, well, where would it be the best place to nap outdoors? Somewhere that is kind of secluded but not too much. So I would win like a slightly like the second tier one that has like that is surrounded like by trees, kind of like foresty looking. So I thought, oh, that'd be a nice place.
Mhm.
And I go based on the request. And at first I was a little bit concerned because I thought it was only gonna be one house per location. That I thought I couldn't repeat them. But I'm glad that you can based on the again whatever fits the theme the best. That's what I go with.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Cool. I guess that's everything. That's all our questions
Yeah.
for you. I love it, Sergio. I'm really glad you're playing through, and I think you're gonna really appreciate that you do.
Mhm.
Yeah, so normally we would hop into our Haken's Islander corner, but as things always go when I have a busy weekend, I forget to post them. So no answers this week, but I do have a new question for all of you, and that is, who's your favorite Animal Crossing duo? It's going to be a little bit past Valentine's Day for this one, and I thought, you know what? Loving relationships can be platonic too. Sometimes they're siblings, like, you know, Timmy and Tommy,
Aw.
and other times they're like Reese and Cyrus, and they're married, right? So
Right.
give us your favorite Animal Crossing duos in the game. Tell us who you like. We're excited to hear from all of you. And I guess this has been a nice long episode. Hopefully, we took you all on a journey with all of these different experiences of Animal Crossing, because I'd say they were all very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nina,
They
you're
were fun.
restarting. Me, I wasn't even playing. Sergio, you're playing more than ever.
Yeah.
Wildly different
Yeah.
experiences of the game, and we just wanted to, check in with all of you and let you know there is no wrong way to play Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
You can do
Yes.
whatever you want in that game. And that's honestly what I think makes it so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. If you're sad to see us go, join us over on Discord. You can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio, Nina, and me. Want to support Haken in a bigger way and tell us your answers to the Haken Islander Corner? Head over to patreon.com/ChuyPlays. $1 goes a long way to making this show even better and includes tons of goodies for you to enjoy. Get a special role on Discord, read a monthly newsletter, and get many other great rewards. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. If you're listening on YouTube, who's your favorite Animal Crossing duo? Reviews really help the show get discovered by more people. Please leave a review on your platform of choice and let us know how we're doing. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chuy, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all next time.